Lord forgive me for this trap shit. Sergeant Smack making backflip. Telly Hank with the action. With the vital speaking Spanish. Frank Matthews, how I vanish. Poof. Came back like I'm King Tut. Gold BBS is on a beamer. When Fat Cat was 10 queens up. Ball off the profit, not the re-up. Fly like Puerto Rican Jesus. Uptown like I'm Baby Maine. Just caught a touchdown from the bay.
A lot of cats be frontin' with mad singles with a 50 on top. L trying to have this city on lock. Piece to Biggie and Pac, cause they really were hot. Rap game heavy hitters, it's a shame they no longer with us. Niggas wanna be out, ladies wanna see out. If I go to jail, you'll wear shirts saying free out. What? Punks. Yeah. Yo, all my wolves in the house, are you live for what? See, Harlem about to get it all lies on us. Only ghetto niggas shine, who gon' rise with us? In the first cattle act, we gon' size them up. All my wolves in the house, are you live with what? See, Harlem about to get it all lies on us. Only ghetto niggas shine, who gon' rise with us? In the first cattle act. Yo. Hey yo, I hear a lot of bitch in your talk. I see a lot of switch in your walk. And only thugs get rich in New York. Time is running out. Niggas like L, when you coming out? Cause they sick of all this drag queen shit. Your wife missing, I'm the nigga he was last seen with. Me and Lynn hit it up.
Let me put this in.
D, you gotta talk a little bit about Big L and the legacy of Big L and working with Big L.
Yes.
I feel like we don't talk enough about Big L.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Big L, definitely was on his way to being one of the greatest.
I think, yeah, man.
People already look at him that way, and he's been dead all these years. You know what I mean? Especially that one freestyle session he had with Jay-Z on the Stretch Armstrong show.
Mm-hmm. Stretch and Barbados, yeah.
He kind of handled Jay-Z up there.
Wow, okay. I mean? And then he was supposed to be signed to Rockefeller.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So,
Down. Word up.
Say what?
95 style. I got my man Jay-Z here.
Jay-Z. Boy,
Step
how
up
you
to the
be?
mic.
Step up to the
Your word up, the single's called Put It On. It's in stores right now. Produced by my man Buck Wow. And the chorus got Kid Capri. They got an LG remix, which you heard Low While ago. Word up.
Yeah.
Jay-Z.
I was just wondering if that was a condom endorsement.
Oh, nah.
Yo, we also got the Graveyard, right? That's coming up next. With Jay-Z on it. But we got Jay-Z in the place. What's up, baby?
What's up, man?
Yeah.
I just came about that hectic party, man, down at the city, man. That shit was hectic, man. Cops in there with shotguns and all that.
Yeah.
And that was an R&B party, man, you know?
Yeah.
So
I'm
the
plague is everywhere.
It was probably Reef.
Yeah, it's probably man Daddy Reef. Yeah. Yo, you up here, you know what I'm saying? So
I don't give a goddamn who it was. I'm here now.
You do your thing, baby.
So you like...
What the fuck were you talking about? Do you remember the party you're talking about?
I came from a party and it was like shootout and cops in there with shotguns, so I was still on that high. I was trying to.
So what time of the day was this? 3 in the morning?
Yeah.
Stretch and Bob niggas used to go up there to rhyme.
Yeah.
At 3.
At 4. Like it was over by 5. Like after you go out, you can still go and get on the radio.
Yeah.
What was your relationship like with Big L? Where'd that come from?
He was like one block away from 140th, and Damon knew him as a kid, I guess, growing up. And then, we went on his block one day, and we had like a half a battle, and we just clicked from there. And he had a single out, I think it's called Broken English. We about to sign him right before he passed away. Like, we about to sign him to Rockefeller.
Broken Language.
Broken Language, yeah.
That was the...
No.
That was a Smooth the Hustler record. You mean Ebonics?
Ebonics, yeah. Sorry.
He was going to sign to Rock.
Yeah.
Before he passed away. I remember I heard that.
A done deal.
So you just stayed in touch with him over like that because this is 90.
That 95. It says 95.
Yeah, because that's when you're talking about the single In My Lifetime. That was 95, the single In My Lifetime? Yeah. So you just stayed in touch, and then that was the word, is that, Jay, he was going to be with Rockefeller.
Yeah.
And I was going to say to Jay, to Syph earlier, I was like, back in the day when everyone used to say that about Big L, his potential, I always thought he was nice, but I was like, I couldn't see him being commercial. But then again, I didn't know Jay-Z was going to become Madonna. You know what I'm saying? So maybe Big L, actually, do you think he could have popped off?
Absolutely. I think he's very talented, very talented writer. I mean, once you have that, as you grow as a writer, depends on whether you're going to be a star and you keep going, or you just writing your own box.
crazy. So it was like whoever he was bringing, I was like, God, I hope this dude can rhyme, right? Because Lord Finesse, you already Lord Finesse, so who gonna come after him, right? Oh, and then body it. Big L body it. The biggest thing in the world. He scared me to death. Yo, when I heard that on tape, I was scared to death. Yeah. I said, yo, there's no way I could compete. If this is what I gotta compete with, I said, there's no way. Big L was supposed to be on an indie label, man.
Hello.
There you go. You're a journalist now. Test it. Test the mic.
My name is Carme, and I would like to know who or what inspired you to become an artist.
Well, I say it was a mix of a bunch of different things. As far as being an MC, you know, being an artist is something that I feel like when you're young, kind of just your environment that you're in, you just, as long as people are your family or whoever in school are down to support you following that passion, then that's what it is. But as far as being an MC, you know, the first rapper that really got me into wanting to be an MC was a dude by the name of Big L.
Wow.
From Harlem.
Yeah.
And that was like that was the dude that made me want to pick up a pen and write. And then you have like your Biggies and Tribe Called Quest, but it was like the classic sound.
Big L, man, because Big L was, you know, that's another nigga, man. Motherfuckers don't, man, them niggas is wildin', man. Them niggas is fucking wildin', man. Big L, man, y'all niggas is wild. Yo, Jay, man, that nigga Jay need to get that shit up to Big L. Anytime he'll say anything about, man, doing them shows when he have Big Pun in there, he should have Big L up in that bitch as well, man. You know.
Big L, shout out to Big L, Children of the Corn, Harlem. I mean, just hip hop, you know, is the epitome of hip hop. You back in, you can go to Harlem 139 and see him right in front of the fried chicken store. Get a cipher with him. You know what I mean? He was real hip hop. Shout out to Digging in the Crates too. I used to see Al all the time in Harlem. Like we was coming up. He was one of the first young dudes to get a record deal and get in. Well, after Chi Ali and all, Al was damn near right after or something probably. So we all looked up to him. He already knew about making music and recording and the studio and all that before everybody, because he was with Finesse and them. You know what I mean? They was grooming him early, so he was like my man then. We was cool with Al because we'd see him. We was in Harlem like every day when we would have to go get with D from the Rough Riders, so we were bumping to Al frequently, a few times a week. The way he put his rhymes together, his delivery and the way he formatted his rhymes, he was very rhymey. He could rhyme the hell out of some words. You know what I mean? He had interesting songs. That Ebonics.
Finesse saw Big L rapping in Harlem, and then, you know, Big L was my little brother, so like what people didn't really know is that he looked to me for mentorship, and he would always come to me and be like, yo, bro, what's up? And, you know, I always tell a story that when we recorded the song The Enemy, Primo did the beat, we was in D&D. Big Al was like, yo, man, you went gold. I'ma rip you down on this fucking song right here, man. I'm taking your 500,000 fans, nigga. I'ma kill you on this song. I'm like, yo, this nigga Al is fucking crazy, man. He was a big gambler. You know, Big Al would gamble all the time, and, you know, he would fight niggas, like big niggas. I'd be like, yo, Al, could we just go shoot the block up? He'd be like, nah, I grew up with these niggas. Just come stand by me, I'ma fight. Every time I went to Harlem to see Big L that he was gonna fight, Vito, he would fight a nigga your size, like the biggest nigga in the world. He's like this. Fuck that. I'm like, oh my God. Like, yo, L, could we jump this nigga, man? Could we fucking hit him with a bat? Nah, no. You know, he was a fair and square dude. Big L was a fair and square dude. He'll fight the biggest nigga in the world, man. It's crazy.
check it out, bust it. Yo, fuck all the glamours and glitz. I'm planning to get rich. I'm from New York and never was a fan of the Knicks. And I'm all about expanding my chips. You mad cause I was in a band with your bitch with both hands on her tits. Coleman hold the throne that you know in your heart. I got style plus the way that I be flowing the sharp. A while back I used to hustle selling flow in the park. Counting G-stacks and rocking ice that glow in the dark forever. Hottie hunting, trigger temper, I'm quick to body something. You looking at me like I'm probably frontin'. I fuck around and throw three in your chest and flee to my rest. I'm older and smarter, this is me at my best.
Rap, verbal attack, action, fact, tactical tracks, match, perfectly, graphical stack, black, the magical rap, tragical rap, the tackle to back, the shackles and action. That's the mathematical balance of all. The saddest, the strong, the rarity born, and arrogance. These massacres drawn as if a consolation. There's lots of hateful skeletons locked in the closet of my gospel and grace on a possible faithful. That's why I have to debate you. A rapper like they will slash your face. The tower massively degrade you. A rapper hates you if you pass it through my label. Snatching his halo, God, I trade you to send my father back as an angel. Thank you, this fatal man is hypnotizing. I'm only emphasizing of some all of my business and enterprising.
Yeah, we back. Shay's Popalot. Mob, gang. We on our way to NYC with it. Headshot City. Uptown. 139th Street in Lenox if y'all not scary. Welcome to the danger zone. Better watch your step, nigga. Today, I'm going to tell you a story that has been told many times, but still has not been told enough. And that story is going to be of a young star in the game that never really got its chance to shoot. And even though it's so much information out about the life and times of Lamont Big L Coleman, but with the amount of potential that everybody could see in him and him dying at the young age of 25, it's a lot of mystery surrounding just his life still. With somebody like Big L, it would literally be impossible to cover their life in the span of a few minutes, as I would think it would require a full-length movie. But I'm going to do my absolute best to go through the stages and the key moments of his life in an effort to bring light to how impactful the somewhat unforgotten legend was. Big L was born and raised in Harlem on those same streets that I spoke about earlier. A lot of outlets reference that his dad left his mother, Gilda Terry, when Big L was a young boy. He did have two older half-brothers, Donald and Leroy, that would play very important roles in his life. And that would start off early when his oldest brother, Donald, would introduce him to hip-hop by taking him to a Run DMC concert when he was about 7 years old. And just like any other kid, I'm sure an experience like that at such a young age would have a big impact on him. And it's said that he was rapping before he even got out of elementary school. He would become a part of a hip-hop group and begin to develop his skills, and everything would change for him in the summer of 1990, because it's then where he would get a chance to do a freestyle at an autograph pop-up by artists by the name of Lord Finesse, who, in my eyes, I would consider a very underrated lyricist, especially around this time of 1990. And me looking at the relationship, I would say Lord Finesse would begin to become like a mentor to Big L, and Big L would somewhat become his protege, though that's not really mentioned anywhere. And though Big L is not known as most of the artists from his time, and I would think a lot of that has to do with his death, but back in those days, he would probably widely be considered the best rapper in a group or pool of a lot of the well-known rappers we know today. And that started as early as 1992 after graduating from Julia Richmond High School. He would start putting demos together, some of which became his debut album, Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous. And he would also find the groundbreaking crew that never was, Children of the Corn, that included Killer Cam, who we know as Cameron, Murder Mace, who eventually transformed into Mace, and then Reverend Mace, underrated Harlem legend McGruff, as well as Cameron's deceased cousin, Bloodshed. His relationship with Lord Finesse would also begin to materialize as he would appear on Yo MTV Raps while Lord Finesse was on the show promoting his album, Return of the Funky Man. He'd eventually release his critically acclaimed and debut album, Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous, in March of 1995. The album would debut at 149 on Billboard's Top 200, but it would peak at 22 on the Billboard's Top R&B and Hip-Hop albums. The album would contain gems and somewhat hip-hop staples and put on an MVP that would go on to reach the Billboard Top 25 Hot Rap Tracks. Even though he saw some success from the album, the very next year would see him get dropped from Columbia in what some people would just call a bad match. It wasn't because the talent wasn't there, as after that he would cross the likes of arguably the top hip-hop MC, Jay-Z, and they would record a 7-minute freestyle on the world-famous Stretch Armstrong and Bobbito show, where a lot of people would say that Big L took Jay-Z down at the time, though Jay-Z was using a very different style that we known him to blow up with. That leads a lot of people to wonder what style would Big L, or even what type of artist Big L would have developed into. A year or two will pass, and just like he would say in one of his lyrics, he was so ahead of his time, his mother and father hadn't met yet. In 1998, he would form his own independent label named Flamboyant Entertainment, and they would go on to drop a hip-hop classic and a song he's probably best known by, titled Ebonics. If anybody was there at the time and you heard Ebonics, you know what it is. If you didn't, search it on YouTube, and that's going to explain Big L to you. The Source would go on to name the song one of the top 5 independent songs released that year. Talks will begin to surface of him eventually signing to what will become Rockefeller Records due to that relationship I'm sure that he had with Jay-Z, but not only that, a relationship that I'm sure he had with Dame Dash, who was from the other side of Harlem, but would hang a few blocks away with the infamous Harlem's Best Out crew. And if anybody knows or remembers Harlem or the history of Harlem at this time, it's when they had a lot of these kind of crews like the Best Out and the NFL crew, even though they were pretty much just blocks apart. And a lot of those crews was just dudes from blocks hanging out that some would end up being labeled as gangs, but most of them were really mainly known for throwing parties. But the NFL crew in 139th and Lenox was just different. And I spoke on the influence that Big L's brothers would eventually have on his life. It would be that same NFL crew that some people would say that his middle brother, Leroy Big Lee Fennessy, was a member and leader of. And really, depending on who you ask, they're going to say that it was essentially Big L's relationship with his brother that would end up leading to his very violent death. Now, I vividly remember the time of his death because it was so early. That was before hip-hop artist was dying. Even though he wasn't in the limelight, he was definitely known. And at the time, it was a lot of speculation that it was a mistaken identity, even though it would be rumors that it had something to do with his brother. It was almost like, oh, the killers thought that he was his brother. And growing up in New York, I just know shit like that happened at the time. And not being close to the situation, you would just assume that, hey, maybe he looked like his brother. But as the years would play out, more information would come out on it. And I remember not long ago, Cameron released an Instagram story where he essentially said that a lot of people think that Big L was an innocent victim, but just days prior, he was hunting his alleged killer down. And in a book titled The Rise and Fall of the 139th Street NFL Crew that would be written by a guy by the name of Lou Black, the cousin of Big L's alleged killer, Gerald Woodley. And it would be in that book that I would advise a lot of y'all to go check out, that he would say that Big L's middle brother, Big Lee, would face a violation of his probation when he was found in possession of a legal firearm, and he would eventually be sent to prison. And it would be from prison where they would say that he would meet a contract hitman from Brooklyn that he would allegedly hire to murder 3 members of the NFL gang, one of those 3 members being Gerald Woodley. In the book, he would explain further on that with Big Lee being incarcerated and having his hands tied, he allegedly needed his brother Big L to link with the hitman to try to identify these targets. And it was said in the days before Big L's death, he would be seen with the alleged hitman supposedly stalking Gerald Woodley. Rumors fly about the situation, just like when the incident first happened, that Gerald Woodley would shoot off or scare off the alleged hitman. But with Big L being seen with the same gentleman just days prior, it gave Gerald Woodley the idea that Big L was part of any plot to do harm to him, leading up to 8:30 p.m. on February 15th, 1999, when Big L would be shot numerous times and killed in front of 45 West 139th Street. And when he died, the dream died, as, like I said, he had so much promise and was so well respected by a lot of his peers at his time that would go on to be some of the greats in hip-hop. Now, I know we worldwide with this mob tie shit. Y'all let me know if y'all know about Big L, or when was the first time y'all heard about Big L? What are y'all thoughts on Big L? Do y'all think he would have been a megastar? Do you think he would have been better than his peers? As a lot of people would say that he was better than these people, Nas, Jay-Z, Cameron, Mace at that time, and seeing how big those people got, how big do y'all think Big L would have got? Y'all get in the comment box. Y'all hit the red subscribe button right under this video so y'all know when this real Trill Spill shit is dropping. And y'all make sure y'all follow me on Instagram, Twitter, POP_A_LOT. We gonna be back with some more real Trill Spill shit ASAP. Mob Gang.